1260 KDUZ News, I'm Mark Wodarczyk. A Monticello woman has died as a result of a two-vehicle crash late Tuesday morning. 93-year-old Edna Arnold was taken to North Memorial Medical Center in Robbinsdale, where she died. The Wright County Sheriff's Office says Arnold was southbound on Edmondson Avenue at Dundas Road when she made a left turn in front of a northbound car driven by 28-year-old Elizabeth Mosher of Monticello. Mosher's condition was not available. Crash happened just before 11:30 Tuesday morning and remains under investigation. Minnesota law agencies are reporting nearly 1,800 DWI arrests during an end-of-summer crackdown. The State Office of Traffic Safety says 1,787 motorists were arrested for drunken driving during the 18-day statewide crackdown, which ran from August 19th through September 5th. Overreaching is what the head of the Minnesota Trucking Association calls a federal recommendation to ban all cell phone use for commercial drivers. President John Hausladen says the best way for a trucker to make a mobile call is
pull over and take that call and not be driving at all. But if you've got to take it, do it hands-free. We're businesses on wheels, and to ban trucks alone is short-sighted because, again, the issue is distraction by all drivers.
Hausladen says the industry has already taken steps to reduce and eliminate handheld cell phone use in truck cabs. The National Transportation Safety Board made the recommendation in response to a fatal truck crash in Kentucky where the driver was allegedly distracted by a cell phone. A Minneapolis man is charged with second-degree murder in the fatal stabbing of a friend in a downtown parking ramp.
29-year-old Kevin Lamont Mims is also charged with second-degree assault for stabbing wounds suffered by another man. According to the complaint, Mims picked up 3 friends Sunday night and they went to a club. The 4 returned to the car parked in the ramp when Mims began to argue with his front seat passenger. 20-year-old Brian Dean Nelson of St. Paul climbed out of the back seat and tried to break up the fight. Nelson was stabbed twice with the scissors, once in the heart, and died. The other victim was stabbed in the arm. Mims is in the Hennepin County Jail. Prosecutors are asking for bail of $550,000. Abby Pop reporting.
An Arizona judge has denied James Arthur Ray's motion for a new trial. Ray is awaiting sentencing for the deaths of a Minnesota woman and 2 other people during a 2009 sweat lodge ceremony. A jury found him guilty on 3 counts of negligent homicide. Minnesota's on a roll when it comes to falling home foreclosure rates. The August numbers show a 1% drop from July and 31% below August of last year. Realty Track's Darren Bloomquist.
Out of the last 15 months, 13 of them have had year-over-year decreases. Basically all but 2 months have been down from a year ago. So we're continuing on that downward trend.
But Bloomquist says home foreclosures will likely tick upward in the coming months. He says lenders are clearing out a large backlog of foreclosure filings, and they will start showing up soon. But it appears Minnesota has peaked and will not again have the high numbers we saw last year. The Hutchinson City Council this week voted unanimously in favor of becoming a member of the Minnesota Angel Network. The network is a new organization aimed at linking investors with early-stage companies. Hutchinson is now one of 5 regional cities in the state that will help join the 2 entities. Hutchinson Economic Development Authority Director Miles Sept.
What the Angel Network does is it gets these companies ready to meet an investor. There are people around Minnesota, there are groups around Minnesota, and they're nicknamed Angels that invest in early stage companies. And so Minnesota Angel Network functions sort of as a matchmaker between companies on the one side and these angel investors on the other side.
Sept also says even though every company they work with won't come to Hutchinson, it will be beneficial in that it will be part of a marketing plan for the city.
What it boils down to is it's a marketing plan. It's a marketing plan to get us a parade of prospects coming right through our doors that potentially we can recruit and get these early stage companies right here in town.
The cost of the membership is $50,000 for 2 years, which will be split evenly between the City of Hutchinson's fund balance and EDA money. Sept says if Hutchinson gets one company because of their membership, it will offset that membership cost. The president facing opposition to his jobs plan, so he continues his effort to sell it. ABC's Brad Wheelis reports.
Focus on the White House. President Obama insists politics is the only thing standing in the way of his job creation plan. He told the Congressional Hispanic Caucus last night that some politicians believe the only way to resolve differences is waiting for the next election.
The American people don't have the luxury of waiting 14 months.
He's been on the road this week selling the plan. How's that going? ABC News White House correspondent Ann Compton.
Rather than growing in support this week, the president's short-term jobs plan has been having trouble gaining traction. An early up or down vote could end badly for him. In 5 days, the president is supposed to unveil an even more important document, his long-term vision to cut $1 or $3 or perhaps $4 trillion out of government spending. Brad.
This afternoon, the president will award the Medal of Honor to Marine Corporal Dakota Meyer. The two had a beer at the White House yesterday. I'm Brad Wheelis, ABC News.
Governor Mark Dayton has chosen Philip Carruthers of Minnetonka as a judge for the 4th Judicial District covering Hennepin County. Carruthers is a Ramsey County prosecutor and a former state lawmaker who was Minnesota House Speaker in 1997 and 1998. Minnesota Pollution Control Agency is advising people to take precautions if they smell smoke or see haze from the Boundary Waters Canoe Area wildfire. The smoke and ash are from the Pagami Creek fire, which has burned nearly 160 square miles of forest along the U.S.-Canada border. That fire was sparked by lightning August 18th. It stayed at about 130 acres for many days, then mushroomed into Minnesota's largest timber fire since 1918. So how did it happen?
It had some small growth, which is what they had wanted it to do, and then all of a sudden we got extremely dry conditions, humidity-wise. We got extremely unseasonably warm temperatures, and then our third factor that makes fire grow, we got a big wind to push it.
Public Information Officer Gene Bergerson says humidity, winds, and temperatures are expected to climb by the weekend, and that may prolong the fire fight. A NASA scientist says the glowing object seen over Arizona last night was most likely a fireball, a fragment of an asteroid entering Earth's atmosphere. Holly Picard saw it flash over the Phoenix area.
This